Hi guys, welcome back. It's Dynamo here, just with a fresh new vid. Uh, Sorry, I've been a bit crook lately, a bit of a croak in the voice. As you can see here, it's almost 5 kilowatt hours of use here apparently, and it's probably about 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning when I was recording this. This is from this morning, and so as you can see here. I'm doing a new format where I can actually pause the video that I did this morning. I've got raw data and then I'll go over it with you, and it's probably going to be my platform moving forward where I'll have the raw data and then and you can look at that too if you want to, and then I'll analyze it. Um, right, and so as you can see here, I'll just quickly pause this just real quick because this system currently with what's going on is malfunctioning. And you see how that's my mouse? Well, look, it's going to come back to life. It just, it's moving around now anyway. That's amazing. All right. And so as you can see, I've got quite a lot of battery available. Now, the big problem here is that this battery, it can discharge at 3,000. And why it's the big problem is why am I being charged this much grid consumption when the load is less than 3,000? And that's case in point. There you go. Explain that to me. Okay, and so they say it's a certified metering device, right? And so I have to buy fluke metering equipment. It's expensive stuff to basically run my own analyzing equipment at home on my premises and then be able to produce that probably with some sort of company certificate for the Office of the Technical Regulator to even take me seriously. And so this corruption with the smart meter, I'll just press play, is happening constantly. So it's a skimming meter. And, in the case of what's happening here this morning, I've got the newer oil heater on. These are the old style oil heaters on the wheels. You wheel them around. I believe it's got 3 elements inside of it, and that's on. And then I've got my little heater, which is a bar heater where you've got the bars, and 3 of the bars, well, it used to have 3, it's only got 1 left now. They've blown out because I see all sorts of weird stuff that did happen since the smart meter was put in. And I've got that on as well, and I know that doesn't use quite as much, but that's what this load represents. However, what I'm seeing here, this grid consumption seems to be exclusively occurring with the newer device. And my understanding of what's happening here, because I'm running off my own power, is this smart meter speaks with the newer device in a radio frequency language. The radio frequency is probably being sent from that newer device saying, hey, I'm using power. Because they're trying to find out what everyone's actually using, to save the environment. This is their hoo-ha. When in fact, yes, I am using power, but it's out of my own battery. And so they've been able to hijack it and say, no, he's not using power out of his own battery. He's using power we provided to him, and let's charge him for it. And how have they got that information? Radio frequency. And did I use any more power? No, I didn't. And have I been ripped off? Yes, I've been ripped off. And so further in this video, I'll go down because this is a live 10-second graph thing, right? I mean, I can skip to it. But there is a graph that we're going to see that is a bona fide representation of what occurs on my inverter. Okay, so that's on site. In other words, it's bona fide. And that does not line up with this real-time power graph that's been infected. Its statistics and its whole operation has been hijacked externally, where it does stupid things like what you can see here. For me to be discharging from my battery, for then to be a feed-in to be provided, that was a false negative right there. So I've watched them systematically over time, and if I'm able to upload all the videos I've got a lot of them going back over a year. but I've watched them slowly break down every sort of angle that they can to rip us off, to the point where they just straight up, started saying, oh, well, look, controlled load of your hot water is whenever your system goes on and you have to pay that fee. So you went from having a separate metering of 27 cents a kilowatt hour for your hot water to all of a sudden, whatever it is that whenever they turn it on, right, you have to pay that rate. So if it's peak, we have to pay peak for your hot water. And I'll show you simply by turning, if you've got a kettle style hot water system, you're going to be getting ripped off big time. And what you need to do is what I have to do, because I don't want to get ripped off, is switch it on and off every day. And that alone by itself has reduced my bill easily by half, if not 2/3. Just that alone. Mind you, I'm a single person living by myself. So there's a simple method to do it. I'll do another video. It's fairly simple. We've just had a daylight saving change. So at 12:24 local time here in Adelaide, they switched the controlled hot water load on. And so I set my alarm every day to turn my hot water back on at that time. And then let it run. When I turn it on, I'll go and I'll check my hot water and feel it by temperature by hand to say, am I happy with it or not? It's usually I am already happy with it, and I'll just leave it on. And I'll leave it on for an hour or a bit more, because when you've got solar coming in, it's all getting paid for free. That's the whole concept here. And then after, you can leave it run 2 hours if it wasn't very warm for some reason. You'd have got run low, which happens in winter a lot. So you leave it on for 2 hours instead of 1 hour, but typically you leave it on for 1 hour, and that's what you have to do, and turn it off. There you go. Your bill's just massively cut in half. Test it. Go do it yourself. Right, so I'm going to zoom forward a bit because this has taken a really long time. So, but all of this, what you're watching, this all was recorded this morning. The date today is the 8th of October 2024. My name's Alex Kirk. That's who's running these videos for you. I'm known as Dynamo. Anyway, I'm just getting to the, where is it? Here it is there, boom. When I go down, right? So this is at the beginning of the video. Now we noticed this before, so it's 4.99, and then you see this image, this imprint here. Let it come back again. Oh, sorry. I need to pause that. Where's the, okay, this isn't going too well. Sorry, guys. There it is. Just some teething issues. All right, okay. So this is the imprint at 4.99. See, you can just see it up here, of the power. So what this represents is in the evening time, I set my battery to charge. See how it's going down, 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 down like this? But you can see when this happens, boom, it shoots up. And then I do it again at what time, whatever time, I think it's about 4 o'clock in the morning or something. And then it shoots my battery up just again, just to make sure I've got enough power to run through until the solar, which is this figured line, that's what they're expecting the solar to be for the day, kicks in and keeps me in what I call a environmentally positive scenario, where also I don't pay for any power. All right, so the thing important here is this: if you had a photographic memory, take a photo of this, because this should not change at this point, right? I'm running off battery, right? And so now I'm going to zip to basically toward the end of the video. When I go down the bottom like I did there, we go. So here we go, and this once again is from Today People, Australia. And they've passed laws, create a whole new act and industry for a separate metering company that has nothing to do with your power utility that you pay, that are doing this, and it's encrypted at your residence. So it's grassroots corruption, and we're all getting scammed from it. Okay, here we go. Now just pause this. Okay. Now just notice here, guys. So you see, remember the imprint. Let's see if I can just get the blank imprint. Oh, it's letting me navigate. Sweet. Or is it? Yeah, here we go. Now you see that's gone up. Okay. And you'll notice here. Good. You'll notice here there's a tiny little nodule here of additional grid consumption, and this makes me want to basically shoot myself in the head seeing that, because you're going to see it's a complete and utter lie. It's like being stabbed in your guts from the face, because as you can see this has changed and there's a different amount of power that's been used, and now I'm going to go over that and we're going to analyze that real quick. All right, so as you can see here, it's alleging that I've used this additional amount of power, that is in excess of what my system was already providing at that time. In other words, having to use grid consumption when I had 40% battery and the load was this much, 1.82 or 1820. Now this battery pumps out at 3.00 or 3000 if you add the zero at the end. So there's no way, and not only that, look, there was a bit of solar coming in. And so when you understand it, how the system works, before the smart meter hijacked it, there's no way on earth you'd be charged grid consumption here. And yet they keep sending their debt collectors, their bill hunters, sending you bills saying you're crazy, when you have to pay more for your power and it's not right. And the other thing is, and I can prove all of it to you, and it's not in this video. However, what I was going to say, because there hasn't been a blackout in this video, during a blackout, they charge you kVA now. So you're no longer, there's another thing I'll point out, that I'm going to highlight the feed in here. See, look, there is no feed in on the inverter. Every day in the morning, they say there's been a small percentage of a feed in. I mean, that alone, being someone from a database management background, just gets, sends chills up, like what's going on, something's not right. Because if there's data saying that that's there, well, where's it represented in reality? Right? Because it's not actually there. And then they say this is the real representation. And see, this is the whole argument. I'm going to end this video in a sec because I've been going on. They say the smart meter is a legitimate metering device in that they call it certified. When I can show you here, and I know that all this thing's done is switched off the entire network that Australia paid for. And it's not only that, we were incentivized to build the solar network with our taxes as well. So the tax money they take, they use that to pay the additional amount. So really, we paid for the whole bloody thing. And I know before that smart meter was put on, my smart meter, before that, it's not a smart meter, I can't believe I just said that. Before the smart meter was put on, it was hardwired to the network. And they have a go at you, oh, it was switched on or off, it doesn't matter. You can't switch it on and off. It's hardwired straight in. And so what they've done is it's basically access to our power network we built. That when you've got a system like mine, a little battery storage system, it's a massive float thing. It's incredible. And then they've made it so they have a switch. Not only that, what does that mean? They turn off the whole bloody network and they are in control. That's it. And then they've let an illegal operation occur. That's what I'm highlighting in this video. We're all being ripped off by it. And it's direct theft. And it's causing our community with problems with domestic violence to even have worse problems where the children can't even have warmth in the cold because the parents won't do it. Why? Because the bills are too high, they're flipping out. I mean, I can't believe that that just went back to the start of the video there, sorry to confuse you. All right, so it's Dynamo with a little morning refresher. It's the 8th of October. Thanks very much for your time. Subscribe, like, share with your friends. This is corruption. The government has allowed it to go through. They say, oh, it was done by the old government, all this sort of stuff. You know, the capitalism has taken over, and the same Canadian company that built Acumen Metering and Telehub, who are the actual metering companies that are letting this control occur, that's ripping us all off, and an act, you know, obviously this Canadian company, it's the one that also paid $2 billion to install smart meters in Australia to the politicians. Okay, this is, and we are all now getting scammed. We ain't going to have nothing. Well, everyone ignores this. I'm just saying that because they are milking us of our life blood while we all whinge about all this other crap. All right, thanks very much for your time. Have a nice day. I don't know when my next video is, so please ring the bell as well. Right then, bye bye.